So we're close to getting to the training camp. We've got the place planned out where they get to stay, which is Isaki's grandmother's house, because if that is their base of operation, they can remove all of the living expenses and the food expenses for most part, since they can just make food in the house. And that place is, for most part, I would assume, close to all the other spots that they would want to visit, so that saves up on the travel expenses as well. However, the issue is that Isaki's sister decided that she wants to join in on this training camp of theirs. But if you guys enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't. And if you didn't like the content, dislike the video and we'll be on our way. Let's get started. Ah, the Magari house. Oh yeah, I forgot. I learned that Magari is the last name. What a fucking bow. Ooh. Is that another lie? Chaperone, of course. You're just fucking dying out here, dude. Is how you're crouching in the fucking shade. He didn't tell you. Men, we don't talk to each other. He always makes meals for him. Yeah, okay. He's beating himself down despite him literally being the one providing everything for him. By everything, I just mean like a house and a roof. A shelter, roof, food, and everything. Look at him with a fucking cap on his back. Yeah, fuck you, Dad! That's when I realized his shoes were too small, so he was just so busy that... One night some years ago. Okay, so the mother is alive. She's just like, I'm out of here. See you later. Oh, and then... Hell yeah, dude. It's just like when he felt it with Isaki. Staring too long. Oh, there it is. You know, that looks like a wallpaper. He saw it, dude. He saw the cherry blossoms. This camera's cursed. Wow, he made an entire week's worth of food for his dad. Mountains are mountains, and rivers are rivers. Wow. Very, very straightforward. Wow. It is a nice scenery. I don't know about the ocean though, but close enough, right? Oh, making chilled noodles or what? Damn, look at his pro slicing skills. Well, it's summertime, huh?
食べたら予行練習をしよう。マガリも一緒に行こう。
はい。私もマガリなんですけど。
さっき
あったあった。
Oh?
ああ、懐かしい。どこ行きたい？今からおばあちゃんち行くじゃないの。
We are on a trip, child.
おばあちゃんちつまんない。遊園地行きたい。イサキは体のことがあるから遠くまで出かけられないの。
Yeah, fuck Isaki. Get her out of here.
お姉ちゃんなんだから我慢。
She's the one with the heart condition, not me.
試しに日が落ちたら撮影してみる。
Oh?
おねえ、ちょっと出かけてくる。
She's holding the weapon right there. The
あいつは顔洗って出直してくるよ。
Oh, I've got those. Those are for the mosquitoes.
ああ、これイサキの逆中身くん、兄弟は？
すいません。姉妹で仲いいですよね。
Hmm.
そう見えるんだ。私は一人っ子がよかった。知ってるかな？
You know, that's what every fucking kid with siblings are like. Man, I wish I was a single child.
はい。イサキさんから心臓が悪かったと聞きました。
Oh, she's surprised about the heart condition. Well, I mean, the fact that she told him.
イサキがかわいそうじゃないの？お姉ちゃんなんだから我慢しなさい。私の学校行事全部ほったらかし。
Yeah, that's the issue with,
だから大人の目を盗んでいじめるのが現在進行中。
of course, the pettiness, but very understandable.
そんなことより、イサキから告ったって本当？
特別とは言われましたが、あれは告白だ。そ
Did
れに、あれは自分が弱ってた状況でかけてもらった言葉。
man's really out here just
そのフェアじゃない。
その回答、身内の彼氏としては100点だね。イサキはやめとけ。
Oh no, she's dropping another flag.
それと違うってこと。あいつが一番わかってる。かわいそうじゃない子が他にいくらでもいるでしょ。
What? He's not pitying her.
イサキさんはかっこいいんです。
Damn.
イサキさんは僕にはすごく眩しい人です。
Man's really out here just confessing to her sister.
うわ、バーカ。それ私がさっきやったやつ。なんで？
Are those croissant shorts? It's not even that dark, Isaki.
だって聞いたって嘘だからね。釜かけただけ。こんなつまんない場所が絵になるの？
見ますか？
Sure. She really looked into that camera and the fucking choir kicked in.
どうしたマガリ？
なんか買い忘れてると思ったらスイカ買わないと。
You've got time. You've got time. You're staying here for like a week. She'd really be out here. Alright, I'm out of here. See you later. Y'all get to be alone now.
彼氏が和倉まで迎えに来るって言うからこのままでようと思っていい？ママに言いつけたらぶん殴りだよ。やんのか。
You want to throw down? Uh-oh.
俺がまずかったですか？神社でちゃんとした答えを出せなくて。
Your wishy-washy reply? Uh-oh. Oh, he...
あいつ人に心臓のこと絶対話さないんだよ。
Oh, there you go.
小さい頃からずっとそうだったの。
The hydrangeas!
長期入院は同級生と並ぶと一目瞭然に小さくて細かった。
Being extra
学校でも特別扱いで、そういう雰囲気も。
Wow, everybody... Boo, this sucks! Everybody got First place? That's stupid. It's like the ending of season 1 of Uma Musume. Aww.
何あんた
This sucks!
私はそれが泣くほど辛くて恥ずかしくって甘えてたわけじゃなかった
Well, yeah, she doesn't want to be treated special.
だからその時私だけでもさ妹をかわいそう扱いしないって決めたんだ
By shitting on her. Oh, passing the baton.
俺はその何をされたのでしょうかどう行動するべきなのでしょう
そういうことはね本人に聞いてさっさと行けば
Hey yo, she's driving without a license plate on her car. That was a pretty nice episode, as I've mentioned in the previous one, where I had said that I'd hope that Haya would be someone who, you know, for the most part, perhaps that feeling of like you're bickering with each other, but in the end you actually do care about one another, and it is like that. Although Haya's just a little bit more fucking savage. In the way that she's just like, yeah, I wish I had a fucking, I wish I was just an only child. Isaki should have just died in the womb out here. But yeah, I feel like that's what kids with siblings would feel, right? Like, oh, I wish I was an only child so I don't have to fucking deal with your shit. And then the kids who are, like, child only, they're the one who's like, man, I wish I had siblings, right? We always want, we always want to be on the greener side of the grass. Alright. I'm going to, gonna do something, and then we'll be back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 10 of Insomniacs After School. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. I'm enjoying Haya's character so far, and as I've mentioned before with all the other things, right? So I'm not gonna repeat that. So we're just gonna head straight into the first part of my notes. We did get to see a little bit of Kurashiki-sensei, since she's not going on the trip, but she's just here to tell the parents that the kids are going on a trip. But she went and talked to Isaki's parents, which is alright, you know, totally fine. But the one thing that's most interesting is her coming to talk to Nakami's dad, or Ganta's dad. I guess I should probably start writing Ganta in the notes, but I'm currently refusing to. But yeah, she tells his dad about the school trip, and his dad is just over here like, I didn't know that Ganta was interested in stargazing, which, I mean, you guys don't fucking talk. And he mentions that, and I just love this. The fact that he goes and says, since this is an all-male household, I have to admit that we haven't been conversing as much with each other as of late. Men, we don't talk with other men. Especially about our feelings. Oh no! I love Kurashiki-sensei's gaze during this time. She's just like, Oh yeah, we also have this where Isaki is just like, what is your dad like? Similar to you? And then we don't see his expression, but he goes and he says, not really, which, so you're saying that you're more similar like your mom? Anyways, yeah, we've got his dad talking about how good his son is compared to him, which is one of those things that kids hate when their parents, especially if they even remotely look up to them a little bit, which as often kids do, even if they don't want to admit it, right? They have a sort of person that they look up to, or a sort of person that gives them some sort of emotions, whether it's positive or negative, right? And it could be a result of your family. But when you're in this point where if you do look up to your dad, and then all your dad ever talks about is how fucking sucky he is, and how much you're better than he is, it's just like, it's not good. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's interesting that his dad talks about the shoe as well, which was something that Ukigawa had talked about. And so initially, because with the whole idea of where is his mom, because we didn't exactly know whether she died or she just left them, so I kind of just went on the default of, oh, maybe she's dead and that's why that's causing it. And honestly, in terms of like child development and how that things like that happen, it's I mean, it'll still be in similar path, but I just feel like the parent dying is a little bit more set. You know, they're dead and on the fucking ground, that's it. But here, with the truth that we've learned from the dad, is that one night, some years ago, the mom got up and she left them, and she never returned. So that's a whole complete different thing, right? Instead of just the mom dying, she had actively decided that, I don't want to be with this family anymore. Fuck them. I'm out of here. But we don't know her initial reason for why she left, right? Whether she feels stressed from this whole life, whether she didn't want this in the whole this whole time, whether she's having some fucking she had some midlife crisis and decided that I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, I'm gonna live my life. You know, because like I've already spent all this time on this on these people. Or you know, the usual, I found another man and now I'm going over there for him, but it's whatever. Whatever. She's gone and out of the picture, but also that means that she can come back into the picture because she's not dead. Oh no! But since his mom is alive, and going back to the whole shoe thing, well, my first initial theory is if she was dead, you know, and if that shoe had been bought by his mom, it's something that he would want to wear as much as possible. But if this is the case of like the mom left him, and okay, we're getting into some like abandonment issues, right? And abandonment issues could also be affected by it if your parents died, because you feel like they've abandoned you, right? They literally abandoned you and went into the afterlife. A little rude of these parents, don't you think? Just fucking dying. But if it's the feeling of abandonment and the fact that his mom up and left them one night, right, all of a sudden, with no warnings, I would assume, or at least the warning signs weren't observed by the boys out here. Because again, according to Nakami's dad, right? Alright, I'm getting distracted, but the shoe! And the whole abandonment issue where, like, perhaps Ganta, at some point, because we're talking about his dad as well, Ganta, perhaps... Okay, so what I wanted to say was that he didn't want to tell his dad that he needed a new shoe just because he didn't want to bother his dad. Perhaps that could link back to the abandonment issue of, like, perhaps I asked too much and that's why my mom decided to dip, and so I don't want to ask my dad. But I remember that Ganta saying that his previous reason was because he knows that his dad would go gung-ho, you know, he would put all his effort into him, and he doesn't want that, right? He doesn't want his dad to put all this effort, all this effort into him. Just overall, knowing that the mom is still alive and out there, you know, doing whatever she wanted to do in her life, makes everything a whole lot more complicated than if she was just dead. Because as I've mentioned, if she was just dead, she'd be buried on the ground and that would be it. Oh no! Anyways, as much as I like talking about psychology and specifically a child's growth and how the teeniest, tiniest things can really fuck them up in the future. Let's move on. Here we are with Shiromaru and Ganta, who are setting up for the event that Shiromaru said in the previous episode, I believe, when he first got the job from Shiromaru. I would assume so, just because, like, she's dressed in not really it's not a Chinese long dress, but it's like one of those Chinese style, what was this? It was a fucking shirt. Anyways, we had Shiromaru talking about how she had won the she had won the award, but the issue was that the club members, they're all playing hooky, especially the president, so they weren't really there to come and take a picture with her for the award, and Shiromaru didn't want to be there alone, because, well, I mean, it's a little embarrassing. So here's Kurashiki, who decided to go with her because, well, she didn't want to go alone, and also, even though Kurashiki-sensei had nothing to do with it, she came with her anyway, so very nice. We get to see just a tiny little bit more backstory between Shiromaru and Kurashiki-sensei, which is always nice. But after this point, we got to see Shiromaru embarrassingly having to give praise and compliments to her kohai. And as she says, it's incredible, you've come so far in so little time, right? You've improved a lot on your photograph. And she says because of that, you know, the next time, you shouldn't get caught up in trying to capture breathtaking scenery. The moment a truly outstanding photograph is born is when you find something in the landscape that touches your heart, and then you get that spark, right? Press the shutter when you feel that spark. And we know that he's had that feeling before, where he and Isaki was on the beach, and he felt that moment when he was looking at her, and he decided to you know, take a picture, which also is showcased again in this part right here, right, where she was talking about how the this place would look really good when the cherry blossoms explode into the street. Sounds a little violent, but yeah, and she said that she wants to come here with him the next time the cherry blossom blooms, and yeah, he got this moment and he wanted to take a picture of her, and he just sees the cherry blossom, which again, this camera, curse, all right, make sure you don't see any fucking ghosts there. We don't want to turn this into fatal frame out here. Also, this shirt of hers is just a squiggly, 2 squiggly lines and a 9. What is this brand? And finally, we've got Haya. And finally, we've got Haya and Isaki, the Magari siblings. We've got Haya having a bit of a one-on-one with Ganta, and she talks about how she wished she was an only child because Isaki had taken all of the attention and she was the one who was getting the special treatment. And it's a very understandable feeling where, hey, I'm part of this family too. How about you give some attention to me? And consider that she's the older sibling as well, right? It was something that she had said, like, hey, or she's repeating what other people would say to her, like, hey, you're the older sibling, just bare your teeth and grin. You know, just shut the fuck up. You're not the one with the heart condition, so fuck you, get out of here. You're not important. And again, that's a very understandable feeling as a kid, and especially as the older sibling, or at least as the sibling who is not getting attention, right? This could have been reversed as well, where you could have a sibling, a younger sibling who's not as good as the older sibling, and so the parents put all their attention on the older sibling. Overall, this all lean towards parenting issues and the idea of favoring your kid over the other, right? You can't be doing that. But that makes it very understandable why Haya would have some sort of anger towards Isaki. But as we saw at the festival run, right, where Isaki was giving her best out here, you know, she was giving her best running, and she was by herself towards the end, because of course she's the slowest and everybody's cheering her on, and like she's just over here running, and like everybody else grabs her, and like, oh my god, they all came in first place. Wow, that's so good, how wonderful. And you know, the only person that we see that looks at this is just like, this is fucking stupid, is her sister, because she knows this she sees this all the time, right? She literally lives with this, so she sees this with like an insider perspective, and she's like, this is fucking dumb. Why everybody else is like, wow, I feel good now knowing that the fucking crippled child has been helped. And so Haya, who had this, you know, this sentiment towards her sister, all right, she sees that her sister's out here crying about the fact that, well, I mean, she wanted to run this fair and square, but all the other kids are just out here fucking helping her. And so she realizes that her sister, well, she didn't feel pampered by it at all. Her sister's in Isaki. And Haya said, that's when I realized that at the very least, I could be the one person in her life that didn't just treat her like a pity case. Which explains why she's being such a little fucking bully. And also, as she mentions the day before, where she says, oh, now I can fucking bully her without the adults around, right? That level of pettiness of like, hey, I'm gonna do all this shit that you've done to me, so fuck you, right? I'm the one driving the car out here. I got you here, Isaki, so you better fucking take my bullying. But we know for the most part, Haya is looking out for Isaki, where she had said, she had told Nakami to not hang out with, well, don't get involved with her, and said that she already knows better than anyone just how different from the norm she is, right? You know, there's plenty of other girls you can hang out that you don't have to feel sorry for. And so Nakami continues to prove why he is, in fact, boyfriend material. I mean, even Haya had said with the way that he responded to her little lie about the rumor of Isaki wanting to hook up with him. Right? Haya's is like, oh man, if you were actually her boyfriend, you would have totally won me over with your response right there. Too bad you're not her boyfriend, though. But this is also, again, Haya just trying to see if she could, you know, make sure that Isaki is hanging out with the right person, right? Hanging out with people who... Which, actually, now that I think about it, I had that question about whether her friends would know about her heart condition, and Haya seems very surprised that Nakami had said that she had a heart condition, like, or she told him that she had a heart condition. So she's very surprised about that, and she said towards the end that, hey, she never talks to other people about her heart condition. And we know that Isaki, for the most part, keeps quiet about her insomnia as well, right? And so, of course, she would probably keep secret about her heart problem. And so, I'm kind of, I guess my whole thing with, like, whether her friends know about her heart problems would probably be no. They just kind of give her a little bit more of a leeway. So, there's that. Who knows, though? Who knows? Anyways, towards the end, Haya passes the baton to Nakami because she feels safe with him. With all the responses that he's given her, she felt safe, and she can see that their relationship is quite close. So she decided that I'm gonna fucking get out of here. I'm not gonna be the third wheel anymore, and that's good, you know. Even as Ukigawa says, a third wheel knows when to roll out. So here is Haya, who's just like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna go hang out with my boyfriend. Very, very, very nice. But other than that, if you guys need anything rephrased during this whole discussion, remember to put in timestamp and let me know if you like me to expand on what I'm talking about, because I write better than I talk. And if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.